皆さん、こんにちは。Vince です。Hello everyone, this is Vince. 本日ですね、今回ご紹介するのは、また、日本語文法に関する話題です。For today, I would like to introduce to you again another grammar related topic. 皆さん、正確に言うと今回の話題は上級者っぽいの話題です。上級者っぽいの文法話題なんです。Specifically, what we will be discussing today or what I will introduce to you today is kind of advanced level of grammar. 皆さん、今回のレッスンは84号。So for today's lesson is lesson 84. それでは皆さん、もしよろしければチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。For those who still hasn't subscribed, if I may request, if you could subscribe. それでは皆さん、というわけで、ということで、開始します。レッスン開始します。それでは皆さん、始めていきましょう。Very well then, let's begin. For today, everyone, so as I have promised in our lesson 82, there's a part there that I have told you that in lesson 84, we will be sort of continuing the noun plus suru with lesson 84 as the advanced part or a supplement for lesson 82. This lesson 84 is the supplement for lesson 82, discussing the advanced level for noun plus suru. So let me just present to you, Minasan, this primer and background. So as I have said, lesson 84 is a continuation of lesson 82. But first, let us rank the way of speaking in Japan. I have sequenced this ranking in ascending order, starting from the awfully impolite to formal and humble. So the way you read it, the way you will read this is from left to right. So this is from left to right, and then from top list to bottom. So it goes like this. So derogatory, so well, that's the least recommended type of speaking in Japan, derogatory. And next is slang. And forgive me, minasan, because me as a sensei of Japanese language, it is my principle not to share to everyone, or not encourage, if not discourage, the use of derogatory words and slang words. So the least informal that I could recommend is the colloquial. But for the last 42 lessons that we have been discussing about grammar, we have been discussing about this level, casual and plain formal. So let me just finish the ranking. So derogatory, then slang, then colloquial, then casual Japanese, and then plain formal. Of course, when you use simple des and simple masu, desu. So we have been discussing casual and plain formal. So the advanced level is from this point: polite formal, and then respectful formal, and humble formal. So you can see that I have used the less than sign and I have used the equal sign, indicating that the polite formal is a bit higher formal language than plain formal, and polite formal is of equal rank with respectful formal and humble formal. Notice the equal sign and notice the less than sign for those not equal in rank. So this is arranged in ascending order. Yeah, arranged or sequenced in, rather arranged in ascending order. So in Japan there's a so-called keigo. What is keigo? Keigo is a formal way of speaking in Japanese, or formal Nihongo. So keigo is formal Nihongo. So it works like this, minasan. Okay, it works like this. So the keigo or formal is further categorized into 3. But take note of the ranking, they are of equal ranking. Polite formal, respectful formal, and humble formal. So polite formal is teinego. Teinego is polite formal. And the respectful formal is sonkeigo, number 2. And number 3 is the humble formal, or kenjogo. Kenjogo. So I will not for this particular lesson I will not introduce to you at the time being, at least at this point in time. I will not go into the in-depth details about the how to write in kanji the teinego, sonkeigo, and kenjogo, because hey, lesson 84 is a glimpse of an advanced topic in Japanese language. And note, teinego or sonkeigo or kenjogo, all of these 3 require the use of bikago, and the mass form of a verb, to recall do you remember, minasan, I have discussed the lesson 0014, or lesson number 14. It is regarding the extraction of mass stem of a verb. If you can go back to lesson number 14 or lesson number 0014, that is extraction of mass stem of a verb. I have told you that it is an essential skill in Japanese. It is very essential. So you have to learn how to extract the mass stem of a verb. So yeah, it represent that if you want to see I have a QR code for that. Let me send to you there's a QR code for that if you want to see. Here, this is number, if you could scan this, minasan, or if you want to quickly go back to lesson number 14, this is the QR code and you can scan that. Okay, so going back, okay. Furthermore, with regard to our primer and background, teinego, sonkeigo, and kenjogo comprise the so-called keigo. So these 3 comprise the keigo or formal Japanese, and is oftentimes deemed as advanced level Nihongo. Since in usual syllabus, a teacher teaches first non-formal Nihongo before he or she subjects her students to advanced level topics like keigo. So I've just discussed a glimpse of advanced topic called kenjogo, because I have promised that in lesson 84 I will give you a glimpse of the advanced level of noun plus suru. But this time around, this is not just an ordinary noun plus suru. Later you will know why. And I have a tip. In Japan, or especially in workplaces in Japan, or even if you're not in Japan, or you're in a country and you're working in a Japanese company, the way to live is to speak in a polite or respectful or humble manner. So come to think of it, so yes, the study about keigo and mass forms of verbs is really an indispensable part as far as learning Nihongo is concerned. So I have an additional anecdote here. So if you could additional anecdote, lesson number, this lesson today, lesson 0084, lesson 84 only shows a glimpse of Keigo Nihongo, and it is considered an advanced level of lesson. Okay, and since this is advanced, and thus will be discussed in later lessons. After lesson 84, we will go back to our usual intermediate level lessons so that we will stay adherent to our syllabus. Okay, so let's go now to the nitty-gritty of our topic for today. So yeah, we have this I have shown you minasan the primer and background, and I have here introduction. Why are we discussing? So the advanced level of Noun plus Suru is actually tapping the discussions about the topic kenjogo, or humble formal way of speaking. So kenjogo or humble way of speaking is used when in Japanese you use kenjogo or humble way of speaking when the action or the verb is directed towards someone above you, or any person or persons that you think you need to be humble with, or you need to give reverence with, or high respect with. Okay, so when you think that your action is towards someone that is above you, or someone that you want to exude respect and humility, or if you think that action affects them, then you have to use kenjogo or humble way of speaking. This type of humble language focuses on lowering your own action to show respect to the person, or to any audience, or anyone receiving your language, or receiving what you have spoken. Okay, or anyone benefiting from that action. Okay, so in Japanese minasan, when your action is directed towards someone above you, or someone that you respect, or someone that you want to show humility, you use the humble form. So how do we use the humble form? So okay minasan, so let me introduce you first to some vocabulary. Bikago. So this is not the first time that you have heard from me Bikago. So what is a Bikago? Bikago. It is a linguistics term that means elegant speech, especially the use of prefixes o or go. It is a refined language, a polite language, and literally, Bikago, when you give a literal translation to Bikago, it's beautification of a word. Additional anecdote, beautification of a word is being beautified because it will be used in formal Nihongo or formal Japanese. Okay, so just like here, for example, in weather reports in Japan, let's say the weather reporter will say 今日の天気をお伝えします。今日の天気をお伝えします。今日の天気をお伝えします。So you can see here, there's a suru here. Suru and shimas is the same. Well, shimas is the mass form or formal form of suru. And the noun part is the ochitae. So the English translation is, I will now communicate to you today's weather. So let me just give you a note minasan. Oh, let me give you a note here. Okay, so what do we know? What do we know so far? What do we know so far? What we know so far? What we know so far is a verb becomes a noun through a process called extraction of mass stem of a verb, which was discussed in lesson number 14. And also we have known through verb type of noun becomes a verb simply by suffixing through, as we have discussed in the previous lesson number 0082. And also we have established that suru means to do, and its formal form or mass form is shimas. The formal form of suru is shimas. And actually, if you take a look at lesson number 14, the extracted form of suru is shi. So in mass form, the formula is extracted stem plus mass. So what is the extracted stem of suru? Shi. But what is the formula for the mass form? So extracted stem plus mass. So and hence shimas. So formal form of suru is shimas, and they both mean to do. Okay, so what we will know today, this is an advanced lesson, minasan. Advanced form of noun plus suru. What we will know today, this is an advanced lesson. Noun plus suru, which through today's lesson is actually noun plus shimas. Take note of the number superscripts. Take note of the superscripts, minasan. So today you will know noun plus shimas. So noun superscript 2. So the pattern here, today you will know the pattern. O or go. O or go is a prefix. O or go plus extracted mass stem of a verb plus shimas or other appropriate conjugation of shimas. So remember that pattern. O or go, then plus the extracted mass stem of a verb plus shimas or any or other appropriate conjugation of shimas. The above pattern, minasan, the above technically has parallelism with noun plus suru pattern that we have seen in lesson 82. So for today, lesson 84, we deal with formal Japanese speaking, specifically the formal humble speaking. So for today's pattern, it will be noun plus shimas, noun superscript 2. Noun superscript 2. So what is this noun superscript 2? Or other noun superscript 2 plus shimas or other appropriate conjugation of shimas, like shimasen, shimasen deshita, or shite, or shimasen de, shimasen deshita. Okay, so okay, minasan, in this case the noun superscript 2 part is formed through the pattern o or go. O or go is the prefix. So o or go plus extracted mass stem of a verb. Such process is called as bikago. Such process is called as bikago, which we have a while ago we have talked about bikago. So these are the legends for the superscripts. Number 1, for the noun superscript 1 is a noun capable of being a suru verb, as explained in lesson number 82. So noun superscript 2 is a bikago noun. What is a bikago noun? Bikago noun is formed through the pattern o or go plus extracted mass stem of a verb. So okay, so let's go now to structure and meaning. So we have the pattern here. It's not always o, it could be o or go plus extracted verb stem plus shimasu. So you can see here, minasan, I will not state all of the examples here. So we will just to save time, we will just select some few. Okay, so we have the column headers here, the plain polite, and then the meaning, and then we have this third column is we make it humble language or kenjogo using the pattern o or go plus extracted mas stem plus shimasu, and then we have the translation of the, so the fourth column is the translation of third column, second column is the translation of the first column. So we will just select a few, just like here, plain polite, I must to meet, I must. So with our lesson, kenjogo or humble formal language, so using the pattern oai suru, oai shimasu. By the way, minasan, it's a bit awkward to use suru when you're already dealing with humble formal, because instead of using suru, you use shimasu. So the correct is oai shimasu. Translation, I humbly meet you. Okay, so how about this? In plain polite, karimasu, meaning to borrow. In kenjogo or humble speaking, okari shimasu, okari shimasu. I borrow from you with an air of being humble. Okay, so just like here, mochimasu, to carry, mochimasu, that's the plain polite, mochimasu means to carry. We make it kenjogo or humble. So omachishimasu, I carry for you. Okay, so how about when we deal with fukugogo minasan? Usually with majority of the fukugogo are through the combination of onyomi to another onyomi. On such cases, fukugogo by combination of two onyomi readings, as a rule of thumb, but there are exceptions to this. As a rule of thumb, there are exceptions to this, and perhaps I will, in our later lessons in advanced Japanese, I will make two special lessons that will clear out all of your doubts about bikago. So because there are some confusions with bikago, many students are in confusion on what prefix should be used, o or go. So but as a rule of thumb, if you are dealing with fukugogo by combination of onyomi readings, as a rule of thumb, you use go as prefix. But there are exceptions, but later we will discuss those exceptions in our later advanced part. So for now, let us see some examples here that are not included in the exemptions rule. Just like here, setsumei shimasu, setsumei suru, setsumei shimasu, to explain. But in kenjogo, it's gosetsumei shimasu, I humbly explain too. About this, renrakushimasu, to contact. It's a cell phone, renrakushimasu, to contact. And for humble or kenjogo, it's gorenrakushimasu, I humbly contact you. Okay. Okay, the prefixing of o or go plus extracted stem plus shimasu is a primary form of kenjogo. It is used when your action when your action is performed for or towards a person or audiences or persons of higher status or persons that you want to give reverence or respect. Okay? And minsan, when you go to Japan, let's say you want to check in hotel, don't be surprised if the oketsugakari or the if the receptionist will talk to you in Sonkeigo and Kenjogo, because it is just how like that in formal Japanese. It is being used usually in hotels and in airports, okay, and in other similar establishments. So how to form it? So I have discussed minasan the pattern. So this is just a redundancy, and you can see minasan that the pattern is o or go plus extracted mass system of a verb plus shimasu. So you can see here minasan, and please just screenshot those other examples minasan. So but if you cannot read because there are no furigana here, this is aimasu, oai shimasu, karimasu, okari shimasu, kashimasu, okashi shimasu. This is machimasu, this is omachi shimasu, this is yobimasu, this is oyobi shimasu. Okay, this is rendak shimasu, go rendak shimasu. This is todokemasu, otodoke shimasu. This is machimasu, this is omachi shimasu. This is kurimasu, this is okuri shimasu, which is the one that you usually hear in presentation of sponsors in anime shows. Setsume shimasu, go setsume shimasu. Mise shimasu, omise shimasu. Misemasu, misemasu, omise shimasu. Okay. Tasukemasu, otasuke shimasu. Shoukai shimasu, go shoukai shimasu. Actually, minasan, there's a higher level if you want to use a higher level for shimasu. The higher level for shimasu is itashimasu, which I will just indicate in the comment section. So negative and past. So the negative form of shimasu is shimasen. The past tense of shimasu is shimashita. And the past tense negative of shimasu is shimasen deshita. So let's have example sentences minasan. So okyakusama no, luckily we are now lucky to have furigana or kanji subtitles. We have furigana now. Okyakusama no nimotsu wo omachi. Okyakusama no nimotsu wo omochi shimasu. I will carry your luggage. So minsan, let's say you meet someone in airport, in the arrivals section of an airport, let's say in Haneda Kuko or Narita Kuko. Okyakusama no nimotsu wo omochi shimasu. I will carry your luggage. Or let's say in this situation, ashita bucho ni go rendak shimasu. Ashita bucho ni go rendak shimasu. I'll contact the department manager tomorrow. The department manager is bucho. Ashita bucho ni go rendak shimasu. Okay, so again we have here, I borrowed a book from my teacher. Sensei ni, not sensei kara. This is a tricky part minasan. Many are mistaken in this part. Not sensei kara, but sensei ni hon wo okari shimashita. Sensei ni, because you are directing the action to your sensei. Because you did the borrowing, the recipient of your action is your sensei. So sensei ni, You direct the action to your sensei. So it's ni, not kara. Although the translation is from. So this is a tricky part, minasan. Sensei ni hon wo okari shimashita. I borrowed a book from my teacher. So, お客様をテーブルにご案内します。Let's say you have a customer or visitor and you want to be a guide. お客様 is visitor. お客様をテーブルにご案内します。I will now guide the customer to the table. So let's have a practice here. So we'll wait a little longer for the customer here. So in plain formal, this is ここでもう少しお客様を待ちます. But since we're dealing with humble or advanced level of noun plus suru, this will now become, instead of ここでもう少しお客様を待ちます, this is now converted to ここでもう少しお客様をお待ちします. So notice the difference, 皆さん. So the same context, but there's a difference in form, difference in actual written part. Okay, I'll explain it to the department manager at tomorrow's. Okay, tomorrow I'll explain it to the department manager. 明日の会議で部長に説明します. So 会議 is a meeting at tomorrow's meeting. 明日の会議 is meeting. Tomorrow's meeting. 明日の会議で部長に説明します. So the humble way is 明日の会議で部長にご説明します. Okay, so I'm making dinner now. ただいま夕食を作ります. So the humble way, Kenjogo way is ただいま夕食をお作りします. I'll send an email to the client. A very useful sentence in an office setup. I'll send an email to the client. クライアントにメールを送ります. But the more recommended grammar here is クライアントにメールをお送りします. Okay, so how about this? Humble yourself. お茶をお出しします. お茶をお出しします. お客様をご案内します. Well, there are common mistakes here, and you can just screenshot this, 皆さん, why they are wrong. 部長に説明します. Plain verb, too direct. But the revised form to make it humble is I explain it to the department manager. 部長にご説明します. お客様傘を貸します. Lacks humility. お客様傘 is umbrella. 傘を貸しします. 貸しします is lend. This sentence lacks humility. We now revise it to a humble way. お客様傘をお貸しします. I will lend an umbrella to our dear customer. So, 皆さん, this is the last part of our lesson, and I apologize this took quite long because actually this topic is bit, or should I say, an advanced kind of topic, 皆さん. So for our next topic, lesson 86, for our next grammar related topic, we will go back to our usual reference for intermediate level grammar. And I'll see you in the next one, 皆さん. So this is as far as we could go. 今日はここまでです. 今日のレッスンはもう終了なんです. 以上. And I thank you, 皆さん, for watching until the end. 最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それから皆さんコメントいただいてありがとう。And please, if you have some comments, please put them in the comment section. And please share my videos 皆さん and please press that like button. And 皆さんもしよろしければいいねボタンを押してチャンネル登録ぜひぜひチャンネル登録お願いします。Please press like button, share the videos, and subscribe to my channel. それでは皆さん Thank you for watching until the end. 最後まで見てくれてありがとうございました。And I'll see you in the next lesson 皆さん。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。Forever then, this is Dan 皆さん。Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much 皆さん。ありがとう。バイバイ。